might take this off too. Thank you very much for having me here today to celebrate Education Week, and I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the land on which we stand as Aboriginal land, and I pay my respects to the Wonnarua people and their elders past and present.
James.
This year has been a commemoration of 100 years since the Anzacs landed at Gallipoli, and you would have done a lot of work about this in your classrooms earlier this year. And I know that we all salute the bravery and sacrifice of our servicemen and servicewomen throughout the years. But sometimes I think we talk about heroes and we save that word for the really big events that happen in our lives, and we forget that there's lots of heroes every day, right here in Metford even, who are selfless, who are loyal, patient, kind and generous with their time. They use their knowledge and their commitment to making our region healthy, safe and prosperous. And these are the kinds of people we're here to celebrate today. And I was really interested to see that you were all named some of those heroes like the SES workers and the fireys and the paramedics people, the ambulances.
Liam.
Because we've all been to a big event recently that brought out a lot of heroes, didn't it? The storms in April. And a lot of people in our community are still finding it tough, but they're getting help from other sorts of heroes who help them with getting back into housing and getting some access to help in other means. Celebrating local heroes isn't just about an award or a ceremony, but that's what we're doing today, so that is important. But it's also about learning from our heroes and finding out what inspires them and trying to be just like them in a small way. I'm sure all of you here can think of someone who inspires you to be a better person. Might be as a better student or a better brother and sister. So for example, when I was growing up and I was in year 3, my teacher, Mrs. Greig, sounds like a long time ago, I know I'm a bit old, but she was a very inspiring person to me. She was very strong and courageous, and she used to fill our classroom with music. She played the piano like one of your teachers here today did, and talked about art and books and reading and sport. And even though she wasn't probably the best at any one of those things, she made sure we all had the opportunity to try our best and to have those fun parts of education, just like you've had today. And the most important thing for me about Mrs. Greig was I really trusted her, because when I was being really good, she told me and she helped me to be better. And when I wasn't being so good, she made me realise that I could do things better. And so she gave me honest feedback, and I think that's important. Of course, it's a long time since I was in 3rd grade, and some of my heroes are other women and men around the place, but 2 in particular that have inspired me on my journey into Parliament are people like the former Deputy Mayor of Maitland, Vicky Woods, who has multiple sclerosis, so that's a really hard condition. And even though she was very sick at many times in her career, she would help others, and that takes a lot when you've got your own issues, things that are making it harder for you, and yet you're stepping above everyone else to try and help. And another lady is our current Deputy Mayor, Loretta Baker, who's a community nurse, and she goes around our community in her job and vaccinates students, so gives them needles to keep them safe from illness. But she also does a lot of work with homeless people and also trying to improve our community for everyone else as Deputy Mayor. But the other 3 people in my life who are really big heroes to me, and I think you might have these kind of people in your lives as well, are my husband, it might be your dad, and my son and my daughter. And they're heroes because they do things that I find incredible. My husband's always the first one to put his hand up for extra work. He does the dishes and he cooks food, does all the things. Doesn't matter if it's a man thing or a woman thing, he just gets in and does it. And my children are similar to that. My daughter, recently I took her over to Gilliston Heights. Remember when people were flooded at Gilliston Heights and they couldn't get out? And I looked around for my daughter and she was there helping pack food for people while I was just chatting and trying to help that way. And my son recently went to Kokoda over Anzac Day and went on that trail for about 6 days walking. And when he came back and he talked about the sacrifices of our diggers, I really realised that he understood what heroes were about and that he was starting to become one himself. But I think the thing that really makes us a hero is having a deep belief in fairness and social justice and equal rights for everyone. It's that thing which puts that fire in your belly and makes you stand up when things are tough and try and get everything to be fair for everyone else. Because being a leader is not about being at the top, it's about seeing everyone in your community and wanting them all to get to the best things that they can be. I think when you have that, I call it a fire in the belly, the thing that really motivates you to make people better and to make them the best that they can be, that's the thing that helps you, because you're not thinking about what do I look like standing up here, or look crazy or whatever. You're actually saying, I'm up here because I want to make a difference for everyone in our community. That's what being a hero is about. So the students and parents and members of the communities and teachers who are being honoured here today, they're all heroes because they know that being a hero is not one event. It's not the big flag waving at the end of the battle. It's getting up there each day, even though you might not win, and still trying. It's getting a law changed when you're in Parliament and you don't have the numbers because you're in opposition. It's about standing up to the bully in the playground when you're much shorter than them. And it's about sharing your lunch with someone because they forgot theirs and you don't want them to be hungry. Some of our local heroes here provide support to reading groups, they work in your canteen, they coach your local sports team, they volunteer in community groups, and they offer to help each other and their neighbours when things are wrong. And remember, being heroes isn't about just getting an award, getting your picture in the paper or your name on a plaque. They're pretty cool things to have happen. It's nice to be recognised when you do the right thing. But it's also those little tiny acts where you put someone ahead of you and you show your leadership in that way. Standing up for someone who's been badly treated, caring for our environment at home and at school, helping a fellow classmate with a hard task and helping them when they're struggling, doing the washing up when you get home, helping you to occupy your brother or sister when mum's feeling a bit tired. All of those things help to be showing you as a hero. So congratulations on the awards winners today, and I look forward to seeing all of you as heroes in our community, because I know you have it inside you, and I hope that your experiences here in school help you to bring that out and to give something back to our community. And I'm sure it will, because you have such great teachers and such a great school here. Thank you.